Welcome back, Alpha Hunters. Okay, the markets are closed for the week of June the 28th. We will be moving to July, which next week will be a short trading week for the US markets. So just be aware of that. Next Thursday will be 4th of July holiday here in the US. As far as the week kind of goes, for most of the week, we didn't really see a whole lot of action. Kind of a flat open there on Monday, nice little pop initially, and then kind of just steadily gave it back all the way into close on Monday. Tuesday, kind of just a choppy day. Ended off the session lows, kind of towards the session highs, not too bad. Wednesday, a little bit of a gap down, kind of choppy throughout the day, but definitely ended towards the session highs there on Wednesday, looking pretty good. Thursday, nice little pump to kind of start the day, then we pulled back down, but we never really kind of left, I guess, kind of the zones that we were in, kind of like earlier in the week, all that much. But yeah, Thursday was kind of a choppy day. And then, we had a nice little pop there towards the end of the day, but we didn't get back to the highs. Friday, we got a nice little gap up and we ran pretty strong there for the first 45 minutes. And we also had presidential election debate stuff here in the US Thursday evening. So maybe some part of the early morning bullishness was part of that. We also got some PCE data that was, it was okay. It's still not coming down as much as what the Fed would probably like it to, but it's okay. And then initial jobless that we did get Thursday morning, it came in a little bit lighter than forecast, but it's still kind of high right now. But Friday, we did make a run. What's kind of significant when we were talking about on the live stream Friday morning, remember the live stream is now Friday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time, is this move that we had right here to the top was a run to the all-time highs. That's where we kind of came to. So when we were talking about on the live streams, we were pulling back. We were about in this level. And I said, I kind of want to see what happens by the end of the day, because the fact that we ran, took the all-time high levels, and then immediately reversed, I wanted to see what happened by the end of the day. And really, once I got done with the live stream, about 30 minutes after that, I kind of knew what was going to happen once we kind of had this little breakdown right here. Kind of figured we were going to just chop bearish the rest of the day. That's kind of what we did. And that will we'll go into the game plan about that towards the end. All right, take a look at sector rotation for the week. All right, well, we got energies actually doing pretty good. They actually did pretty well throughout the whole week. Communications also outperformed during the week. Discretionary is kind of in line with the market there. Real estate just slightly underperforming. And then we got financials, healthcare, tech underperforming, staples, industrials and staples and materials and utilities at the lower end of the day. They kind of got hit there. Second hour of the day on Friday, they got hit pretty good. So utilities, lower end of the week. And take a look here at the heat map week over week. We can see there's a lot of red and a lot of green. And we just kind of saw that with sector rotation. Things were just kind of like all over the place. So kind of a flat week on the markets. Then we have just a lot of stuff either bullish or bearish. And there's some gray out there, which means it's roughly flat. But there's a lot of red and a lot of green. And you can see Nvidia here dropping 3% roughly on the week. Alphabet up 3% on the week. Amazon up about 3%. Tesla bouncing 8.5% this week. All right. So, yeah, there's definitely some rotation kind of going on as, maybe portfolios are just rebalancing. Maybe it's part of that. I wouldn't doubt it. It is the end of the quarter. So now we move on to Q3. All right, take a look at the VIX. Well, we had that gap up on Monday, which is kind of normal. Pulled down basically every day until Friday. Pretty large doji there. So we'll have to see what happens this next week. But I mean, it's just kind of at a lower level. We could definitely continue to grind higher in the markets, but maybe that's also a reversal, which maybe is what I would be looking for. The DXY dollar index, nice pump higher on Wednesday, and that was kind of all you need to know. Monday we tried to break down, but all we kind of did was Monday, Tuesday we're pull into the moving averages coming up. Wednesday continue higher. Thursday, Friday, it seems like we're just kind of consolidating here, waiting for the moving averages to kind of catch up. Maybe we'll push higher later on. We'll have to wait and see, but that's what feels like to me for now. GLD, Gold Trust. Yeah, we tried to break down on Wednesday, but we had a snapback. So we have this little abandoned baby down here on Wednesday. And I would probably just be looking to be accumulating positions still on gold. Gold, yeah. I think that's going to be the play right now. 10-year yield. This was another one that I kind of reserved judgment when we were doing the live stream this morning or Friday morning. And yeah, we had just broke Thursday's high. We had kind of quickly pulled back, so you didn't know if we were just gonna break the high and then maybe we fade back down on yields. But you can see what happened. I mean, if we look intraday there on Friday, I mean this is about where it was. It was pulling back real quick. We had that high break from Thursday, and then we were just pulling back. You can see what happened after that. I mean, yields just climbed, and this is a scenario. This is a scenario. I don't know why I just said that I've kind of, we've been talking about for a while. Is if inflation comes down and yields go higher, that basically just tells you investors are not in a particularly good situation with the debt. So we'll see what happens, but that's a pretty strong move. We also had a pretty strong move on Wednesday, so we just kind of got the follow through on Friday. So we'll just have to wait and see. And obviously we had this little downtrending high that maybe this was just going to be a false breakout and came back down, but kind of only looks like we just kind of broke down, retested Friday, and just popped higher. So we'll have to wait and see. But to me, I think yields would be going higher. 10 and 2 inversion, also very nice, strong move. We had a kind of similar move back in late May. It's not exactly similar, but it's kind of in that same area. Strong one-day pop. Back in May, it was a back-to-back day pop, but Thursday we actually just paused. We didn't really do too much, and then Friday continued higher. So yeah, we could definitely continue higher because that's a pretty solid close. Obviously, it could do what it did last time, which is just fade back down, all the way back down, and actually took that low. We did close above those highs that we did have in late May, so I kind of want to think the 10-2 inversion is kind of on the up move here. HYG. Okay, let's talk about some bonds. We just talked about yields. Talking about yields going bullish here. Bonds will most likely not be going bullish, right? And earlier this week, we did have a pretty good gap down on Wednesday. When we were talking about that on Wednesday, the thing we were talking about is you're probably looking for any kind of bullish pop to go bearish on it. Or you're saying, okay, this is a quick snapback on Wednesday. I'm going to go bullish on it. You could go either way. You could have gone both ways. And, you just take off the bullish or bearish trade, whichever way we want to break it down. Obviously, Friday, we just got the answer. We broke down in a significant way. Probably just going to be moving lower. That was a pretty large change of direction that we got there. It was about an hour after the market was open, and yeah, yields just went higher, bonds went down. So you can see that drop off there on the TLT. So yeah, bonds probably going lower. So if you did snag those bearish positions, probably looking pretty good. All right, take a look at the RSP. RSP has just been in the sideways choppy zone pretty much the entire month of June, and that's about it, man. I mean, just you needed to break the highs and lows of June, and that's the direction you're most likely going to go, and that's about it. I mean, RSP just kind of a dead duck right now, not really doing a whole lot of anything. DIA, nice volume that came in on a lot of these ETFs today, but pretty large wicks both directions. Yeah, if we break down this past week's low, we're probably moving back down, at least down to the 383 area, 384 area at that point in time, and might even be moving lower as well. IWM, nice bounce here off the lows today on the IWM on Friday. Right off these moving averages, this is a pretty good close because this is the first time that we've actually closed over like this 202 level, going all the way back to basically this June the 5th. Now, when I'm saying that, we have several closes over that level for the month of June, but all the times that we got over that level, we had multi-day sell-offs. Like We had a pretty good gap up to start the month of June, but we just sold off like 2 consecutive days, and we gapped up, pushed higher, and then we just reversed and came back down. And then we spent most of the month of June below that 202 level. And then we just had this huge gap up and then sold off for 2 days, got below it, spent the second half of the month mostly just below it. This is the first one that kind of feels like maybe we're on the upswing. Maybe we're going to hold over the 202 level. It's kind of my opinion. It kind of just feels like that. It kind of feels like capital flow might go into IWM, maybe out of big tech. I don't know. That's just kind of the way I look at it. Qs. All right, let's talk about Qs and SPY here. So Qs and SPY. I'm going to go to an intraday time frame. Here's an hourly look. I'm going to zoom in here, and you can see the previous highs from the 17th and the 20th is right there where that horizontal line is, and we can see we got just over it this morning. So that is a very quick run. Take the all-time high and reverse, and you can see every hour after that we just traded lower. So it is kind of an interesting one, and it doesn't particularly look very bullish to me, because it's kind of like, hey, we went, took a price level, and then we reversed. And typically when you do that, there's continuation that comes after that. So I would not be wanting to be bullish right here. I would rather wait for probably more significant support levels, maybe like down here on this gap fill around 468 to this high around 460 or so, 459, something like that. Somewhere in that level, that's where I would rather be looking to be bullish. But as far as the way we kind of closed out this week, I don't like it. I just don't like it. So it's just kind of the way the Qs look. And SPY did the same thing. Took the previous all-time high, which was back on June 20th, reversed, and you see how much volume came in on Friday. Quite a bit. It doesn't look good. We came all the way down below the 10 EMA. We did not close below it, but I'd imagine it probably happens Monday, Tuesday. So, Alpha Hunters, that is what I got. I would not be looking too bullish next week. I wouldn't doubt it if we see some selling come in. Maybe not Monday, but I would expect to see some selling come in next week. Alpha Hunters, have a great weekend. Take care.